Hello, I'm Peaceful Nick the Medium, and it's a weird time of year for everyone. And I want us to just talk today. I probably won't be doing any readings, hello, but I do want to just talk. Hi, Emily. I want to just let you ask me questions or talk about your family stuff, just air your grievances. Um, you know, if you want to, maybe depending on how things go. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Debbie Lou. I just want to see how everybody's doing and talk. I can tell you a little bit. Hi, Shirley. I can tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's one of my very, very, very good friends. She's also a medium. Kathy, I'm just going to let people talk about their family stuff and family drama. Um, So I don't think I'm going to do any readings today. Hi, Debbie Lou. So if anybody has anything to say, let me know. Hi, Al. Hi, Lisa. Is anybody just, hi, Peggy. I miss you too. I know. I can't wait for us to get back. And we need to plan our January event. Today's the first day I've had at home alone, and I can't tell you how long. Um, so I'm off work for my Christmas break. Hi, Wildlife. Hi, Zep K. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Pax. I'm actually surprised so many people. Hi, Wendy Girl. Hi, Suzanne. Susan, Kelly, Ms. Honey G. I guess people are scrolling. Thank you for following. Hi, Wildcat fan. Is that the Kentucky Wildcats? People must be just scrolling through, and that's okay. Even if I help one person today, that's fine. Hi, Debbie. Debbie Lou, so you're new. Okay, so I'm actually a medium. I usually am on here and often with Kathy Behrens, who's also a medium. Um, oh no, Pax is hosting family. And normally I come on here and I answer mediumship questions, but it's such a weird time of year and the economy's so crazy right now for everyone. Instead of me promoting my mediumship business today, I just feel like there are a lot of people with a lot of stuff happening um, emotionally with their families. I think I need to lower this. I feel like I'm looking up at the sky. That's better. Pax says, I will be having kids over. Any suggestions to make them sleepy? The most legal suggestion is run them ragged, run them around. If you're in like a super cold place, like um, if the environment like outside is decent enough weather to get them. Oh, Chicago. So is it like freezing? Is there any place you could have? I don't know if you have any men that are going to be there. Have the men take them somewhere and just run them ragged. My husband was really good about that, taking my boys out because I have two boys. They're grown now. But my husband was really good about taking them somewhere. But we lived where it was decent enough weather to where he could take them outside and just run them ragged. He would have them race each other, come up with outdoor games. They would run sprints. He would just run them and run them and run them. And the other thing is, do not give them a lot of sugary candy or cookies or cake. The sugar is just going to hype them up and they're just going to get wound up like crazy. Um, so, yeah, have somebody keep them very busy, especially if it's boys. Girls are a little bit calmer normally, not every girl, but normally. Let them, help you bake a cake or decorate the cookies or doing anything. Oh, great idea. Scavenger hunts are always fun, depending on how old they are. Great idea. Um, yeah, no sugar. Yeah, no sugar. Mexican men, all they do is drink. Oh, I said to my wife, no sugar. Well, alcohol does break down to sugar, just FYI. But obviously it's for the men and not the kids. Melissa, what's happening? Hi, Evelyn. Peggy says, my sister and I are at odds about the care of our 95-year-old father. He lives with us. Um, fan- it's funny because I'm having a similar situation in my family with a sibling. She's the one that needs the help, and my father is the one that's not being kind, I'll say. Um, Boundaries, I would say. If if your sister, Peggy, is not willing to pull her weight in the situation, just all you can do is let her do her own thing and send her love and not bitterness and resentment because it's not going to change anything. Oh, I don't know. It's telling me to swipe right to comment. Okay. Um, Being mad at each other, you and your sister, isn't going to make anything better. Arguing is not going to make anything better. I've learned with age to say less words instead of like, I used to be the type of personality that I had to say every single thing that was in my brain. And I've learned as I get older, it's not always necessary to tell everyone every single thing I feel because most people don't really care how you feel. Very few people really care how you feel. And very few people are going to listen to how you feel and make any changes in their behavior. Like, it's almost impossible. If you look at any time people are discussing religion or politics, nobody's listening. They all just want their point heard. I just want my point heard. And I used to be that type of person when I was younger. Like, yeah, I got to tell you all my feelings, and you've got to hear me, and you'll change if you hear my feelings, and people don't. So boundaries, 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 um, and do whatever you can for your father, whether or not your sister helps. And just unfortunately, you just have to let it go. I know that sounds terrible, but some people aren't going to change. It is frustrating. Let's see. Melissa Ashley said a lot. LOL. I don't. Okay. Well, you can tell. See court and stuff like that with my child's father. Oh, that is so hard, Melissa. It is so hard. A friend of mine has a daughter who's about 16-ish, and the dad, the the child's father, stopped paying child support suddenly like 2 years ago, and so she's a single mother and has limited income, and he's hiding from her, and so she's going through that same thing, and it's just so hard. I know a lot of single mothers who have had to work and scrape and just to make ends meet, and it blows my mind. And I talk with my husband a lot about this because, we know people in similar situations, and we just don't understand how people, and mothers sometimes do it too, can just abandon their child. It's as if they have no connection to them, and it's just so strange. All you can do is love that child with everything you have. Do as much as you can for that child. Um, and the father has to deal with that with himself. There's nothing you can really do to change their mind. Just like I was saying earlier, you can scream and yell and give your opinion. 99.9% of the time, people aren't listening. They don't care, and their mind is already made up. So all you can do is love that child. Mm, mm, mm. I'm so sorry. Pax says, I might do scavenger and take them to the park. Perfect. Sunset is at 4. Well, run them, run them, run them, run them. Let them play and scream and go crazy. That's a great idea. Until maybe take some lights, some camping lights. That might help. Extend your time. Hi, Kelly. I know, honey. I know it's challenging. We're going to talk in a couple of days. Yes, Melissa Ashley, it is very frustrating. They act like they want to seem like the best person ever to the best people, but yes, exactly. That's probably narcissism. Um, my just to tell a personal story, my dad in about 1970, middle 70s, 1970s, when I was a kid, he left and moved away with his new family, who was a new wife and two kids that weren't his that he raised, and just left us. And we saw him twice in 10 years, 12 years, two times. Not a lot of communication, not a lot of support in any way. So it's astonishing to me how narcissists, and that's not the only case. And I'm not saying that for people to feel sorry for me. I have a fine life now. I have a wonderful husband and kids and stuff like that. But um, it makes me, it just is so eye opening. Like, how can you hold your child and look at your child and just walk away? And so many people do that. And it's definitely um, a narcissistic trait. It is very common for narcissistic parents. And men do bear the brunt of this blame, but there are women who also do it. So I want to be fair. Um, but there are so many parents who just leave their family and act like they never existed. And I mean, I just saw my kids a few days ago. They're adults, and my heart has been broken every day since because I can't wait to see them again and give them a hug. Like, I can't even imagine. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Kenzie. Um, yeah, Kenzie Sue. Hello, and funny you're talking about this with NARC family member. Yep. Um. Oh, I have cut two off. What timing? Yep. 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 Let's see. I'm just going back up. As a kidless guy, it truly bothers me parents who choose party over their kids. Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrible too. They haven't matured, I think, parents. And I know a woman who had a baby. The kid is like 30 years old now, so he's an adult. But when he was first born, she was like the most loving mother. Oh my God, she was just such a good natural mother. And about the time kid was about 6 months old, and she went straight to the party scene and never really came back until recently. She's in her 50s. She's been sober maybe a year or two, um, but she just couldn't hack it. She never had any other children, thankfully, but it was rough to watch. Coriander. My mom is narcissistic, and it's so exhausting. It is exhausting, and the best um, advice I would give to a child of narcissistic parents, an adult child who has the means to support themselves financially and isn't dependent on them, that's the key. Get away from them as fast as you can and make sure you make enough money to where you don't have to ask them for money. The tricky thing is if you are dependent on them for some type of financial support or a place to live, that complicates it very much because you feel like you're constantly being um, attacked, put down, disrespected, dismissed. You're constantly being treated poorly, and they don't see that it's abnormal, but you always feel like you want to throw up because the emotional pain is so bad, and it's like narcissists get a hit, like a drug addict. They get a hit of, um, I don't know, adrenaline or some kind of serotonin, I don't know, some kind of good feeling when they hurt somebody. It's like an energy vampire, if you've ever heard that term. Somebody, you, so say you're a child of a narcissist and you're in a great mood, or you're in any relationship with any narcissist in any way, and you're in a great mood and you're happy, and say you're just like cooking dinner and you got the music on and you're just having a good old time, and the narcissist comes home or walks in the room and just is like, turn that crap down, what are you doing, that food smells awful, and they just suck the life right out of you. And it's like, why? Why do you have to hurt somebody to make yourself feel better? And there is a spectrum of narcissists, and there are different kinds, and there's lots of free information on the like there's lots of YouTube videos. I've done a lot of research about it because I come from a family with narcissists in it. So there's like covert narcissists, which they say are the worst ones because everybody thinks they're so great in public, but behind closed doors, they're the worst. Um, and there's like people with severe narcissistic personality disorder, and then people who just have narcissistic tendencies. People with severe narcissistic personality disorder probably cannot be helped. No matter how much therapy, they're always going to be pretty narcissistic. But people who have some narcissistic tendencies but can change are often people who are children of narcissists who don't know any different. Manipulation is the way you live your life, and that's narcissists are master manipulators. Um, and so it can be a learned behavior. To children learn it from their narcissistic parents: lie, manipulate, hurt people to make myself feel good. And there's just a range. So it's about boundaries. Boundaries. When you're independent financially and you have your own home and you don't need them for anything, put those boundaries up and stick to them, because a narcissist is a master at drawing you back in. Come back, come back. I've got something you need, or I've got something you want, or I promise I've changed. I've done so much work. And then a week later, they're back to the same terrible narcissist. Sorry, that was a rant. And oh, I'm sorry. Your mom is a narcissist with dementia. That's the worst because they can get really mean. Um, when dementia gets really progresses, the meanness can come out. And if somebody's a narcissist already, I hope that that's not the case for you. Let's see. I missed a lot of comments, so I'm going to go back and read them. Lots of nice comments for Anne. Nothing is a gift. Remember that you always owe them because of that one time. Oh yes, Kenzie. Yes, yes, that is absolutely what narcissists say. Don't you remember when I did this for you? How dare you treat me that way? Or how dare you blah blah blah. How dare you? Don't you know? Also another good one is you should respect your parents no matter what. They gave you life. Really? I don't buy that. Just because somebody gave birth to me or donated some genetic material by their sperm does not mean I owe them anything. I didn't ask to be here. I don't owe you anything, especially if you've been disrespectful, abusive, or mean. You don't owe them anything. Lana, yes, I'm sorry you lost your daughter and just wish people would put their energy into their beautiful kids. I couldn't agree more. Anna says it's power, absolutely power. They want to have something over you. Mm-hmm. Yes, energy vampire for sure. My mom is the most negative person ever. Isn't it So when you start to really see how different personalities are affected by each other, that you can have a room full of people just having normal conversation, and that one negative person comes in, like a gray cloud, and they just come in the room and just suck the energy out. They don't even necessarily have to say or do anything, just their presence um, can pull all the energy out. They just, they, I guess you could say it's kind of like those science fiction movies where there are entities that suck the energy out of people. It's like that, and people are really like that. It's terrible and crazy. Oh yes, PACs, they begin to tell you how everything you are doing is wrong, and they're masters at lying. So um, I had a situation recently between two narcissists, and I I'm an adult with a job. I don't depend on anyone financially for anything. And these two people were acting like that I owed them something for some imaginary reason. And one told me they said this thing, and then I told the other one, I said, well, so and so said this. And then this person called me and left me a mean voicemail and said, that is not true. If you got something to say about it, blah, 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 blah. And so we all got on the phone together, and this person's still lying and still manipulating. And I'm like, you can say whatever you want. You can believe each other. I don't care. But this is what happened. And they hate that when you say, boundary, this is the truth. Narcissists really hate the truth when you confront them with it. They really, really, really hate it. Um, Thank you for the likes and the follows. Oh, some comments were filtered. Oh no. Kathy says covert narcs are the worst. Yes, they are. They're so slick. You don't even know what's happening. Um, a lot of deconstruction. Yep. Someone has a health problem. Come back. Oh, yes. Or, your so and so, your parent or your grandparent, they only have so many Christmases left. Oh, this is going to be their last Christmas. Well, that's nice. Maybe their spirit will mature when they get to the other side, because they need to start over, because this life, they did a terrible job at it. Um, Kelly, I'm calling it spiritual boot camp. I must have missed, Kelly, I must have missed a comment somewhere. It's really bad. Haha. Yeah, nah. We didn't ask to be born. Yep. Pax says, I've been living together with my wife for 16 and counting, and I used to be a narcissist, not gonna lie. So I would like to know how you realized you were that way, what happened, and how did you change? Um, what motivated you to change? Were you a born narcissist, or did you learn it from people around you? Kurt Ander says, yes, you can feel bad energy. Yep. Oh, Kenzie Sue, you will always be the villain in their stories. I could not agree with that more. Um, I reposted and duetted, I think, a lady, and forgive me, I can't remember her name, a creator here on TikTok. And she said um, something to the effect, and I loved it. It's going to make me cry because it's so true. And she was being real snarky, which I love. And she's like, I may be the villain in your story that you're telling all these people, but you're the clown in mine. And that's, I think, the key to overcoming people who are abusive in a relationship with you. in any type of relationship, parent, child, romantic relationship, sibling, friend, anything. The key is getting to the point where you see them for the clown that they are, because their behavior is so ridiculous and so unbelievably immature. They have arrested development. They have not matured um, emotionally. My dad is 81, and he's at the emotional maturity of his 20-year-old self. Um, he's been through tons of therapy, but he's still very emotionally immature, and he's a narcissist. I'm not a psychiatrist, but he's a narcissist. And so it's like, when you see them for what they truly are and you confront them with it, that's when they really hate it. So if you can say, all right, you can say I'm crazy, and you can tell people all kinds of stories and lies about me. I don't care. When you get to that point where you stop caring what they're saying about you and what they're doing and all the things they're saying behind your back, when you don't take it personally, and this is true in any relationship, when you stop taking things personally that people are making up about you or lying about you or trying to convince other people you're a certain way, when you stop caring and thinking, gosh, this person's an idiot, like they're just making stuff up at this point, you have a sense of freedom that will blow your mind. Like, you're free. You're just completely free, because it doesn't matter what they say. It can't hurt you. The reason narcissists say mean things and lie and manipulate you is to hurt you. They want to hurt you because they feed off of it. So I hope I hope that helps someone, because you have to start saying, "Oh, wow, you're crazy. I'm not going to be crazy anymore. Like, I'm not going to fall into that trap anymore. You have your own problems, and anybody that I want to be associated with can see that you are very dysfunctional, and I don't want to be associated with you." So you have to start getting to a point in your life where you have um, boundaries in all of your relationships. I recently ended an almost 40-year friendship for some similar stuff, because I'm like, wow, this is getting to the point where it's harming me, and I can't have a friendship where I'm just being harmed. Like, it was kind of bubbling up for a long time. And that was also kind of a narcissistic thing, too. So I'm just rambling. Um, Pax, I think I missed one of your comments. She might have been right, but I got help and started doing healing from within. Now life is awesome. Congratulations. That's wonderful. It takes a very strong person to do that. A very strong person. And I'm proud of you. It's hard to look at yourself and heal. I've been to a lot of therapy, and I've been to therapy with my husband a few times over our 30 years. And it's hard to be like, oh, I messed that up. It's hard to be like, oh, I gotta change. It's real hard. So good job. Okay, I'm waiting for the comments to load. Yep, star search, believe people when they tell you who they are. And that's the problem with compassionate people. We find it hard to believe that somebody's really that way. And so we want to change them. I can change them. I can love them enough that they will change. And we can't. It's a hard lesson. Okay, Pax, there's your other comments. They came in out of order, but I see them. Thank you. Good. Wonderful. Hi. Callum says, I feel good energy. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Manny Maven. All right. I think I am catching up now. Jessica, I'm struggling on setting boundaries with my family, learning to do things on my own. It is so hard, especially when it's hard when you've been dependent on them, and it's hard when they manipulate you and they want you to do things their way, and they make you feel guilty, and they hold things over your head, which is the worst. I had I have a family member that needs help, and another family member had the, I'll say, audacity. I've been helping a family member for 2 years with a problem, like every day, helping them every day, every day, every day, every day. Um, and another family member called me and said, "Are you going to help so and so?" And I'm like, "I've been helping." And they said, "Send me money to my bank account." They wanted me to write them a check, which I haven't had a check in 20 years. I do everything online. "Send me a check and I'll send this person the money." And I go, "I can just send this person the money directly because that's what I've already been doing." And they're like, "No, send me the money to my bank account and then I'll send them the money." And I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, this is a narcissist. "Do you want to be a bad person or a good person?" This is an adult asking me, 53-year-old woman, "Do I want to be a bad person or a good person?" And I'm like, um, and I said a whole bunch of things after that, which I won't go into, but I'm like, it was very odd. It's a narcissist who knows they're losing control of their minions and they can't stand it. So they manipulate, and that's a huge manipulation tactic. Um, so you have to set that boundary. You have to set it and you have to stick to it. The only thing is, if you are financially um, dependent on them or like you live with them, that's a totally different story. But if you're financially independent and you don't live with them, girl, set those boundaries. Um, Kenzie, sorry, so many comments. The subject is raw for me. I know, and don't apologize. That's why I came on this, did this live. Um, so do not apologize. We need to all help each other heal, and this is a very, very hard time for people. Did you start seeing spirit in pictures? That's so funny you asked that. I was actually looking at photographs last night of the first person I had a medium experience with. And it was a fully formed picture in my head, and they were talking to me. I could hear them and see them. And I've told the story many times. I have videos about it. But yeah, I could see them in my head in the color sweater they were wearing, the gold chain. I could see their haircut. I could hear their voice, the whole thing. It was amazing. Changed my life that one moment. And actually, I just saw the date was January of 2019. So it's been 5 years next month that I've been learning and exploring and doing mediumship. I didn't realize it had been that long. Oh, Patricia Carmichael. My sister and I lived together at 60 and 62. My sister is so verbally abusive to me. Um, that has probably gone on, I would imagine, for decades. And call her out every time she does it. Just call her out. Whenever you're in any kind of relationship with someone who's verbally abusive, you you say you say, "What do you mean by that? Can you explain what you're saying to me? What are you trying to tell me?" You form it in a question, because if you attack, they attack back and they say, "See how crazy you are?" That's why I say what I say. So you form it in a question. Can you explain what you mean when you say I'm a useless piece of crap? Can you explain that? Can you give me details? I don't understand. And you just say it really calm. You're really calm, and that really drives them crazy. Abusers hate the calm person because they want to get a rise out of you. It's like two siblings fighting when they're little kids, and one's picking on the other one, and the other one's going crazy, and they do it on purpose to get a rise. And that's what they want. So you just calmly say, what do you mean by that? Can you explain that to me? And then if you really want to push it, ask for evidence. Well, what evidence do you have for me being a useless piece of crap? Because this is the evidence for me not being a useless piece of crap. And then you state the evidence if you want to go that far. So good luck. I'm so sorry. You got to stand up. Kenzie Sue says, I see them as static and spots of matter in normal view. That's pretty awesome. You can learn to, you can learn and ask your spirit guides actually, or you can take classes. I teach classes, but I don't have one currently right now. Probably started in February or March. But you can learn to hone those skills and use it for doing readings. Or you can just ask your spirit guides to help clarify it. Your spirit guides will help you. Pack says, guess I was like that because of people around me always needed to be right and were also immature. Yeah, that can happen. Jeannie B. My niece won't see me anymore because I've grieved too long for my husband, 3 years. Well, it sounds like your niece is not very compassionate. And if you have people around you who aren't compassionate, and then you probably don't want them around you. And people shouldn't tell you the right way to grieve. There's no right way to grieve. Um, I would say do some self reflection and see what type of grieving are you doing? Are you inconsolable still after 3 years? If you're inconsolable after 3 years, I would highly suggest some deep counseling, some grief counseling. Um, if it's regular grieving, normal things like you see your favorite movie on TV and it makes you cry, that's normal. But if you're inconsolable and you're obsessing over it, you probably should get help moving through those steps. So, that's saying you've grieved too long for your husband is your niece's opinion. What's your opinion? Ander, both my parents, both immature. My dad wasn't as narcissistic, but my mom is the worst. I'm I don't see the rest of your, I'll see it in a few minutes probably. I'm sorry. Lots of people are realizing their parents are narcissists. And I think the boomer generation is particularly guilty of this. My mother's passed away. My father's still living, but um, boomer, boomer he is. Okay, Jessica, I believe I answered that comment earlier. Karina Rivera, I want to address your comment. And I have 56 more of them. It's sad, and this is for everyone. It's sad that I feel that once my parents pass, I'd be free just because of all the traumas. You'll be free in a way, but if you don't address the traumas now, I don't know if you are or you aren't, like if you've been in therapy or you've had counseling or anything. Um, Sometimes confronting your parent is healthy and helpful, and sometimes it's a nightmare. So I would get some guidance from a counselor about doing that before they pass. Um, Sometimes it just falls on deaf ears. Sometimes writing a letter to them. Actually, I was just talking to someone earlier today about doing this, and I've actually done this in the past. I read a book called Toxic Parents in the 90s, and I had a big confrontation, and it didn't do anything. The response was, "Oh, that's a lot." And they walked out the door. And I didn't talk to him for a decade. So that did nothing. So sometimes I'm a kind of person, I want to get it off my chest. If I don't get it off my chest, I get physically sick. Um, Sometimes a confrontation is helpful, sometimes it's harmful. At the very least, write it all out. You could get an old copy of Toxic Parents probably for less than $10. It's a guide to get you through the steps. It's one of the most useful books I've ever read. Um, it guides you through all the traumas from your parents and your family and anything you can possibly imagine. And it might be a little dated, they might have an updated version, but it helped me through that time in my life so much. And you have to decide what's best for you, a confrontation or writing a letter. There's other options as well. Some people bring their parents into their therapist office, and so it's a safe place, kind of like an intervention, but therapy. Oh boy, toxic parents. And actually, it's so funny because I hadn't seen a copy of that in so long, and I was at therapy with my husband a few months ago, and on the bookshelf in the little reception area, they had an old copy that looked identical to the one I actually read. Okay, I've got to go back like 60 comments, so just a sec. Let's see. All right, so I just saw that this is why I had so many com- comments. A person named Ayana was asking you guys to, and this is what happens in these lives. Um, they're scammers, and they come in. Kathy, I see. She asked my friend Kathy, who's a medium, to inbox. I did not see this before. I'm so sorry. Nobody, please do not inbox that person. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a scam. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make a video about it. I got a similar thing in my inbox yesterday. Someone goes, "I sense you have negative energy around you. Please inbox me and I will help you figure it out." I'm like, I know who's negative around me already. I don't need to inbox anybody. So I'm so sorry for that. And I hope all that, please don't, please don't, please don't inbox that person. They're taking your personal information off of here and they're going to use it. They're probably screen recording it or screenshotting it, and they use it in a reading they're going to give you, and they're going to charge you ridiculous money for it. So please don't, please don't, please don't. That's why I had all those comments. And I didn't see it. Sorry, everybody. Mimi of 5 took me years of therapy. I was in an 8-year relationship with a narcissist. God, it is hard. It is hard. Their way or the wrong way. That's right, Jessica. That is right. I've got to get through the scammers. And your timing is perfect. Yeah, I thought because my Christmas break started this weekend. So I thought this might be a good time. And my hubby's out with his buddies that are visiting from out of town. I thought, what a better time. It's Monday. Everybody hates Mondays. Christmas is coming. Everybody's stressed and miserable. Kenzie, I'm opening with my gifts. I can look at a picture and tell you exactly how they look face. Good. User Debbie, I am not doing readings right now because we're just talking about family stuff and asking how you're doing. I will be traveling over the weekend, but I plan on doing some live readings. But today I just felt like doing this. Yeah, I'm seeing that now, Kenzie. No, I don't have a mod right now. I'm so sorry. God, that person is fast typing all these comments. Kenzie Sue, good, I'm glad. Okay, Cindy Street, I think it says. How can you get through to a family member? They no longer can use me because I finally know his lies. So I think what you mean, I'm not sure if you mean how can you get like the information across to them that you're not going to be used anymore. You just have, it's actions. People, especially dysfunctional people, family members, friends, loved ones, romantic partners, anything, they don't hear what you say. One of the best things I learned, and I think it was a Don Miguel Ruiz book. It's either that or Eckhart Tolle. I can't remember. I'll highly recommend both of their books for growth. I think it was Don Miguel Ruiz, one of his books. People, when they meet you or know you for your whole life, have an entire story about you. All people that you meet have their own made up story about who you are and anybody else. And so you only know the real version of you. Everybody else has a made up version of you. So it doesn't matter what you say. People aren't listening. People are not listening. The only people that I care enough to really, really have a deep conversation about important emotional things in any relationship are my husband. I have one sister that out of the five that I have that I care enough to have that deep conversation with, and my kids and their wives. That's it. That's the only people I'm going to take time enough to explain anything important. Anybody else, any other family member, I don't think any of them care enough about me to do the same. So it's not even worth my time. I allow people to have their imaginary version of me if they want. If that's what entertains them, that's fine. I'm too busy to worry about what everybody else is doing. I got stuff to do. I have a lot of things happening. So I don't care what people think at all. So actions, just keep doing your own thing. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. You'll get to a point where you're like, I don't really care what you think. I know I'm doing what's right for me and in my life. KM, is my uncle going to be okay? He's in the hospital in a coma. I do not do medical predictions. Um, that's not the kind of work I do. I'm very sorry, and I will send out positive energy for him. Be careful because I thought I blocked that person. Um, you don't owe an explanation to anyone. Only you know the truth. Yes, Kenzie. What's happening in here, Rhonda? We're talking about family stuff, family drama. I'm a medium, but today I'm just letting people talk and ask questions about, narcissism and trauma and should I go for the holidays or should I stay? How to put up boundaries in relationships. Kenzie says, cut them off, baby. I cut my bio dad off, my grandma. So peaceful now. All less at odds as a family. Good, good, good. Are you sure you want to know? There's a lot going on with family. I have a pretty strong, spiritual group around me, so I'm okay. Um, Thank you, Kenzie. What's the book called? I think I answered that. Aloha. That lady that was scamming people on here, her comments are still coming through, and I'm just trying to still get through that. Love them from a distance. Yeah, and you can love someone in your family and never see them. You can still send them love and hope the best for them. Not all families are meant to be close. Not all families are meant to spend a lot of time together. Oh, and I was thinking the other day, I was just out and about, doing errands and stuff. And there was this group of people at their job, and I was so appreciative they were there. And they were, having a little side dinner with the people at work because they're working through the holiday break. And so I was thinking, I remember when I worked in retail years ago, I was happier with my work friends during holidays than I was with my family of origin, my family I came from. It was so much easier and more fun to be with my work friends and have a holiday dinner than to go to my biological family's house for holiday. Um, and I was just thinking, wow, those years working retail kind of saved me probably from a lot of drama. Rhonda, my daughter is defiant and oppositional, just got out of short term treatment. Anything for us, meaning like a reading or a prediction? No, I'm not really doing readings, but I'd say a lot of times people with defiant oppositional orders may have a hormonal imbalance. I have a niece who is 30 something, 35, 36, something like that. And she was diagnosed with defiant oppositional disorder or something like that. And that was years ago. She's been diagnosed with bipolar, da 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 da. Well, there's a lot of hormonal imbalances in my family. I have Hashimoto's disease, endometriosis. There's a celiacs. My son's a type 1 diabetic. So there's all of these autoimmune things in our family. And I've been telling my sister to have her daughter tested for hormones for decades. And she just finally got diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, which is where your hormones are all out of control and you can't regulate your body weight, you can't regulate your body temperature, you can't, regulate your emotions sometimes if you're not treated. And I think a lot of people who are diagnosed with these things, these disorders, really just need their hormones checked, and that would help. Hi, Lorenda. I think we're going live together in a couple of days. I'm looking forward to that. So glad I found another medium to bounce questions off. I'm here for you. You can send me messages, you can email me. I have a YouTube channel, all of that stuff. Hey, bye, Kathy. Yeah, okay, we'll chat. I don't even know how long I've been on here or what time it is. 2:17? I have no idea. Yes, Friday. Okay, perfect. Perfect. My YouTube name is the same, Peaceful Nick, Nik, the Medium. I've got, I don't know, like 600 followers, subscribers over there. Oh, perfect. Um, I'll look for that, Lorenda. Today's my first time going live in probably 2 months or more. I was, I moved from California to Florida August 1st, and I've been sick. And I work full time, and I have a part time job, and I have my mediumship. And I have been sick, knock on wood, almost constantly since I moved. So I've been doing a lot of reposts because I'm just trying to catch up on my life. And I just finished up finals with my students on last week. So I'm just like, finally breathing. Um, so I think I must have been on here for over an hour. Yeah, I know. I want to be on here more. I actually want to go live on YouTube more, and build that platform a lot more. But I just can't get in a rhythm. And I had company for 10 days. My kids were here, their wives were here. So that I just blocked everything out while they were here because, I want to spend time with them. So that was wonderful. So I am going live with Lorenda Carr Medium. I'm assuming we'll do readings. Is that the plan? I can't remember what we planned. I'm sorry. It's been so crazy. We'll do a chat and a Q&A and some readings maybe. Yeah, okay, perfect. I didn't know what you had planned. Okay, I don't remember. Um, I have gift cards on my website if anybody's interested in a mediumship reading. I have a coupon right now, good for 50% off any reading booked between now and the end of January. That's Holly 2023, HOLLY 2023. I have mini mediumship readings on the 20th, which is Wednesday, for only $25. So if you want one of those, there's 3 or 4 slots left. They're 10 to 15-minute readings for only $25. And I can tell you, mini readings, you'll get just as much out of a mini reading as you will a full reading. You can book those on my website as well. I am starting to have a strained voice. Thank you all. I hope this helped you. I hope you all survive these holidays with your family. And I will be back. And thank you all. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Now I can't see the off button.